invocation and pledge.
I do. This is a Taoist prayer of peace. If there is to be peace in the world, there must be peace in the nations. If there is to be peace in the nations, there must be peace in the cities. If there is to be peace in the cities, there must be peace between neighbors. If there is to be peace between neighbors, there must be peace in the home. If there is to be peace in the home, there must be peace in the heart. Please join me for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Of the things that we think, say, and do.
Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you, Mike, and that's especially timely prayer this week. Brian, how about the Sergeant of Arms report?
Good morning. Got 42 members here on site this morning, and Chris Milholland, lovely guest.
Oh, yeah. I miss Judy, but Christy, it's nice to have you with us this morning.
Thank you so much.
Well, Christy's looking at our club. We're very excited about that, and you know, her connection to Out of the Garden. Okay. Let's move on to, I see Rick Martin here for birthdays and anniversaries. Is anyone pinch hitting for Rick today? And seeing that no one is pinch hitting, we might just move on to the football.
I think we do have a birthday, though.
Yes?
Is your birthday today?
It's Danny Farley's birthday today.
Oh, we almost missed a great opportunity.
Yeah.
We have to recognize. Okay. Please join me in a round of happy birthday for Danny.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Danny. Happy birthday to you.
Any other birthdays today that I should know about?
Not that I've seen.
Okay, now I'm going to check the roll afterwards and let's see who's telling me. Okay, let's do the announcements. We have a few announcements today. We have some things coming up. Kim, why don't you start us off?
Remember, for our rush and for our fundraising for the food drive, I know a lot of you donated the last 2 weeks, so I sincerely appreciate that. I have a dining room full of food. No furniture, but food. That may change, but right now I have food in it.
We can redecorate.
That's right. So I'll take that to Pickstock on Saturday, but if you are coming on Saturday, please feel free to bring an additional item, a couple of them, so that we have a really great showing.
Thank you, Kim. Thanks for collecting and bringing that all down to Pickstock. And you definitely want to bring cans of food because there is a raffle right then that you can participate in if you bring a can of food or cans.
Absolutely.
Cans
Kelly's
plural.
donated a big prize at Grandover, so anybody that, so if you just bring something in your hand and put it down and get a raffle ticket when you get there.
Oh, that's great. That's going to make it a lot more fun. Shit, person, are you ready yet, or can you? Let's go ahead with it. Let's talk a little bit
Not
about
my
Pickstock.
cut, I'm chewing his bacon.
You keep
Which got
chewing
me
that.
thinking about pig stock.
Good time to think about Pickstock.
All right, this Saturday, we're going to have a major event. We got a lot of people in the club participating, coming out. The cook team, they've moved the cook times around. We've got to start a little earlier. So basically, there's going to be food coming off out there to be served to our guests and friends who come out and enjoy the afternoon with us. It's supposed to be an absolutely beautiful day, 0% chance of rain. Food will be coming off from noon until basically about 4 or 5 o'clock. Barbecue, rib, Boston butt type barbecue, ribs, brisket, chicken, side dishes, and dessert, the whole bit, and chili. I don't mean to forget chili. Where's Kim? I would never forget Kim. That's right. Kim is our chili chef of the year. So anyway, we're going to be out there all day, and that means literally from about 3 a.m. until 5 p.m. or later. So I want everybody to come out, but bring friends. It's a big, fun event. I've just picked up 14 tickets to give to clients, so there's an idea for you. And they're all spoken for, and I was going to try and find some more this morning. So please come on out and join us. If you're on the cook team, I understand it's supposed to rain Friday afternoon, and so we're going to set up sometime Friday morning. So we need to talk about when we're going to get out there and set up. I do need a little bit of help. I got some heavy stuff to move off my back deck to get out there. So if anybody would volunteer, come out, or if you don't have a strong back, maybe just a weak mind to supervise or something. But anyway, let me know. I hope I see everybody out there. It's going to be a really fun event. Any questions about pig stuff?
Is there a preferable day to help you out moving?
Friday morning.
You need Friday
Sometime.
morning?
Right.
Okay.
And unfortunately, some pigs had to die to make this happen. I'm sorry.
Maybe a cow too, because I understand there's going to be some fantastic brisket. I know for a fact there.
That's right.
Please support your cook team. As you heard, these guys are getting up and out. I guess you're going to be up before 3 a.m. if you're going to start at 3 a.m. That's kind of sounds like an all-nighter to me. Support your cook team. They need strong backs, strong minds, weak minds, big tummies, thirsty members. We're going to have a fantastic outing. And I tell you what, every year that I go to this, I look back and think, why did I not come earlier? Darn it. Next year I'm going to come earlier. So I promise you'll have a great time.
Well, Chip, may the Lord have mercy.
Amen to that. We need all mercy we can get. What if we talk about Foundation Day? I wonder if this would be a good time to talk about Foundation Day, Mike Conrad.
It's too late now. Well, we have 19 that are signed up to go, so we're well represented from this club.
Is it too late to sign up?
No,
Okay.
no,
If you have a
it's
last
not
minute-
too late,
Okay.
if you wish to sign up.
Anything else we need to talk about on
It's next Thursday,
next Thursday evening?
and also next Thursday, we got Patrick Eakes will be our speaker, so we don't want to have a good showing for him.
Sure, and you would think this is Foundation Month, by the way, wouldn't you?
It is.
A lot of foundation things happen in November. We're going to have also a new, yes, sir.
Next week is at proximity.
Oh, well, thank you so much for mentioning that. Yes, every once in a blue moon, we hold our meetings at proximity. For the newer members, we're almost always here, but about twice a year, we relocate. And next week will be one of the meetings that we hold over at the Proximity Hotel. Walt will send out a reminder, I'm sure, on that. We'll also plan a new member orientation on October 15th. Lisa, thank you.
November.
I'm sorry. It's Foundation. November 15th at Lisa's house. I think all the people that have joined in the last 90 days, 180 days have received an email on that. If you haven't, or if you've never been to a new member orientation and think, I meant to do it last time, I didn't do it last time, Lisa has opened up her house. Just reach out to her, reach out to me. We'll get you directions, time, and details on that. New member orientation on November 15th. It's time for a football pool.
Yes, it is. Good morning, everybody. Good
morning.
All right. So, I did statistics last week, and I'm kind of into it again this week a bit. So it was interesting. A lot of people picked North Carolina, Duke, State, and Appalachian, and they all didn't do too well. They all picked them to win, so that was interesting. Now, also interesting was, if you like scoring, you like to watch a football game where there's a lot of points, Wake Forest Louisville game had 91 points. Wake Forest had 56 of those. NC State and Syracuse had 92 points. And Syracuse won that one. Duke and Pittsburgh had 99 points. Darn, almost got the 100 mark. So if you like football, those are the ones that you needed to watch. So pick your teams to watch this week. So when I'm grading these, I always go through the colleges first, because they finish first, right? And I see who's in the lead, or who's at the top, or who's at the bottom. So at the turn, as I call it, Chris Jackson had picked 13 out of 15 in the college. Really good.
Wow.
Buster Lewis, where's my Buster here? He's not here.
Got to be present to win.
Oh, darn. Buster, well, we're not finished. Buster Lewis at the turn was low man, and there was about 4 or 5 right on his tail. So the winners, though, the top winners, Chris didn't make the top. Yeah, I'll tell you where he ended up. The top two performers were James Pangler with 19 and Kim Dane. Is James here?
Yep.
Oh, well, James would have won, but Kim, you're the winner. All right, now we're down to the bottom end of this thing. So, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people who tied for last.
That's gotta be right.
So, we want to know who they are, right? Yeah, we do. Buster Lewis.
Dying to know. Dying.
And Rob Midget, of course. Justin Plummer. David Lillard, and I think he won last week. Tom Richardson. Tom. And every one of these, Virginia Tech to win, which they didn't. Georgia Tech won. And that Ross Geller is the guy who gets, is he here? Oh, brother. Let's go. I gotta get the closest points here. I know, but tiebreaker.
I know the furthest from the,
Never mind. Don't go there.
We gotta pick somebody.
Rob Midget here.
Come on, we gotta pick somebody.
No one wants these done. Sorry, guys. And we have.
just throw
Just
it.
a minute.
All right.
Finally found the Rotary catalog.
Thank you, Dennis.
Mike? No. Real quickly, there are new sheets on there. Does anybody need any more sheets? Is any table short? I guess all the people who were terrible last week and didn't show up are guaranteed not to be in the bottom next week. And I want to say one other thing. Dennis takes a lot of time to score this and look at it. And I just want you to know, so like prepare yourself for next week. I don't even score these things, so you can fill them out and I'll just pick who I want. So that's I'll give a name and a number, and you can try to get the sheets from me to verify.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Dennis. Bobby C. How about some happy dollars?
Happy dollars. Yeah, Mike, that does build goodwill and better friendship.
I'm gonna get one.
One thing for you, on the Eva Pig stock, you know the Indian word for bad hunter?
Oh, vegetarian? Bobby delivered the pig stock ribbons, and we're looking forward to Best in Show this year.
Had an armored car with it.
Yeah, they're valuable, they're valuable. I just wanted to thank the club. I was trying to guesstimate, and we started this 6 years ago, and this really is Gate City's party that we let other people come to. I think I got to about 3,000 man hours that go into this, and a whole lot of it happens in this room. And the happy dollar really is for Chip. Chip Person, if Chip didn't say yes when we did this 6 years ago, it would have never happened. And Chip was the first guy to say, I'll do it. And then I told him what it was. And he said,
But starting out dancing, would you cook a Boston butt for a little party I want to have?
yeah, see, it all worked out. So thank
I want to first thank Matthew Foster for allowing Trotter Brothers to do some vinyl for him. And then I got two for James Edwards. First of all, he let me do some carpet in his house that he's listed with my daughter. So that's awesome. Thank you.
So I was gonna give two, but Cooper just took care of one of them. That's pretty good.
So this is a little bittersweet for me. As some of you know, I'm living with my mother-in-law. My wife and I are living with my mother-in-law. She sold her house. I've listed mine with Cooper, and today is the day. We're moving to Boone today. So I'll put something in writing to you. I really enjoy being with you guys.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
It's kind of bittersweet, Happy Dollar. Last night's,
Yeah.
Monday night, Sue and I were at the event at Temple Emmanuel to memorialize those people that were killed in Squirrel Hill, Pennsylvania. 3,500 people were there, and it was an incredible showing of people. At one point, Rabbi Gutman asked for everybody who was not Jewish to either stand up or raise their hand, and I swear, over half the people there were recognized as not being part of that faith. So it was a great sense of community, and it was, as I said, it was bittersweet, but it was also inspiring and uplifting at the same time.
Mike. Okay, mine is really a happy dollar. Last week I had the opportunity to go to the Greensboro Club, and they were celebrating the 100th birthday of Sticky Birch. And any of you that know Sticky Birch was a former sheriff. He's a World War II vet, and actually back in 2009, when we took the first vets to Washington to see their memorial, Sticky was on that flight, and my wife was his guardian, and it was a really special day for her to be with him. But they consider him as the Sergeant at Arms of the Greensboro Club, and he's just a great person to be around.
Cool.
Birthday boy.
Celebrated my birthday well. My buddy Jeff came by and enjoyed all the community in the neighborhood. The Halloween was insane last night on my street. Really fun. We'll see something in Star Mountain magazine, maybe.
Yeah. Thanks for that drink, too.
Well, since Happy Dollars weren't announced last week, I was going to talk about the fact that, I think it was 3 weeks ago today, my wife and I, Mary's been wanting to go to Maine for decades, and so we hopped in the car 3 weeks ago today, drove to Maine, yes. That won't happen again. But we spent a couple nights in Portland, and then down to Portsmouth, and then one night in Plymouth, and Portsmouth was awesome. We liked that the best. And just really nice place, but next time we go, I'm flying.
Hey. I've got 2 happy dollars, and I do want to get some change. Yeah, so last week I went to, had the opportunity to go back to Duke for a Duke football game. I hadn't been in 40 years since being a student, and oh my God, the changes were phenomenal. But the one thing that didn't change was that Duke lost. And very excited, leaving first thing tomorrow morning for New York City for 4 days and get cultured, you know.
All right.
I got one for shout out to Justin Plummer. Caught him working out at the gym the other morning, pumping iron, doing a good job. Attaboy.
I'll pay you later.
Any more? Well, I finally got Grandpappy and Grandmammy up to date. I bought them some cell phones and taught them how to text. It's really sweet. And the other day, it's kind of touching. Grandmammy decided she's a romantic type and Grandpappy's Grandpappy. So she's out having coffee with one of her lady friends. She thought she'd send Grandpappy a text. And I'll read it to you. It'll bring a tear to your eye. If you are sleeping, send me your dreams. If you're laughing, send me your smile. If you're eating, send me a bite. If you're drinking, send me a sip. If you're crying, send me your tears. I love you. It's unbelievable. Grandpappy wrote back, I'm on the toilet. Please goodbye.
Folks, I want to take just a moment. Got a couple things to announce as we go into transition here. Many of you know David Crabtree, and that he is working on his doctorate, which involves a thesis and all this doctoral kind of work, a lot of writing and research. And he's a busy fellow. Between running the church, Hope Ride, getting his doctorate. I think the demands of the thesis are, and the writing and the preparation are taking their toll on his schedule, and he is asked to resign from the club, effective about a week, 2 weeks ago. But you all may want to just reach out to him. He's been a great member of our club, and we'll certainly miss him. And maybe after all the paperwork and the doctorate is complete, maybe we can get him back in about 18 months. So please reach out to him. James, I don't really want to accept. I don't want to accept a resignation from you. Do you know when we do the fundraiser for the last umpteen years, James has built a fantastic spreadsheet and kept such diligent records of where we were at any given point, and brought such organization to our projects. And each time a new president comes along, he kind of coaches them on how to keep things together. But behind the scenes, you all just don't know it, but he has done such a fantastic job. He's been past president of our club. It was a great year when you were president of our club. And Boone's gain will be our loss. We wish you the very best up in Boone, and hope you'll come back often. You know where we meet.
Yeah, we'll be back in town a couple times a month, so if it's a Thursday morning, I'll try to drop by. All right.
Come see us for the Christmas breakfast, too. Santa breakfast. What's that?
He does all the guitar work.
And a great guitarist to boot. Okay, well, I'm going to transition into, we have a little bit of house business to go through here. A lot going on. You know, our club does a lot, and last week we heard about the Peace Fellows. That's Rotary. That is Big Rotary, and Big Rotary does a lot of things that we just don't think of outside of Greensboro, outside of Guilford County. But disease, polio eradication, and fighting diseases, and health concerns, peace initiatives. There are just so many things. And we can talk about that another time, but that was Big Rotary. We'll talk a little bit today about our Rotary, local Rotary, and what we're up to. So I used big font. Can everybody see that on the back row? Oh, come on. Okay, but they moved plenty of seats up front. If you can't see, now's the time to get coffee. Come up front so you can see. Okay, club service. Let's start off with a little bit of club service. Matthew, just real quick.
Sure. Good morning, everybody. Project we did, as I said in the past, was wonderful. Try to get street clean in December, ring the bells. And we're still looking to do something at Victory Junction, and I just don't have much report back on that yet. But we haven't put that in the closet. We're gonna get there eventually. No promise. And that's it.
And I like that you brought your supervisor.
Yes. Supervisor number 2.
Of course.
Yeah.
Membership is up next. Lisa, do you want to comment?
Okay, membership, as of July 1st, we were 69, and you might remember last year we were around 74, but we had several members that had become, I guess, disengaged or decided to drop.
Clean the decks.
Our year-end goal is 74. We're currently at 72. And Walt, Chip, and myself went to the October Membership Summit out at Sedgefield, and that was very informative. We got a lot of statistics that we won't bore you with, but it's compared to the other clubs in our district, we have really low attrition rate, but we still have natural attrition, so we do have to continue the recruitment of new members. And I'm excited to say that Christy back here, I think, has her application and is ready to join our club, so that's exciting. And our next quarter goals is really to have an orientation, which that's scheduled for November 15th for our new members, or newest members. And something that we talked a lot about at the membership summit was that a lot of clubs have introduction to Rotary sessions, and so we probably will have one of those on a quarterly basis and more often if we feel like we need to. But those are our next quarter goals.
Thank
So keep bringing us great members.
Oh my gosh, we've had great members this year. It's
Two questions. That 72 include David resigning?
Yes.
And,
But I did not know how James.
yeah. Okay. And then with October Membership Summit, that erases our need except for the ladies count going up.
Technically, but the truth is, I think, just because of how life happens, we do need to be on the lookout for people that share a passion for service above self and good camaraderie, fun events. And, you know, hopefully all of us will retire one day, or you know, things just happen, and we move to Boone or we work on a doctorate. Stuff happens. So yes, we do need to be on the keep our eyes open. How about club admin, Tony? I'll transition right into you.
So I think the Sergeant at Arms and the Queen of Hearts is going well with that rotation. You know, hopefully that's given everyone a nice bridge into the club and really learning all of our new members. You know, we've got some information as you came in today. If you didn't pick it up, please grab the information that we have for you on the database, and you know, update whatever is necessary on that, please.
Grab it and look at it, but don't take it with you. That's our only copy, and that has all the updates that the different members have put on it.
And then, of course, we've got the Christmas party coming up at the Conrads on the 6th, that Thursday night. That'll replace the meeting that week. And then the Santa breakfast on the 20th. Please be sure to sort of keep in mind Toys for Tots for that.
Thank you. And in the past, you know, we used to give out, try to figure out, anticipate how many children under a certain age were going to be here. We tried to shop and give a little something out. But a couple years ago, we started a really neat tradition, and that is that children that would attend would bring a gift for someone else, which we give to the Marines Toys for Tots drive. And I think that, I don't know who thought that up. Love to find out.
That would be Hal Stansel's idea, that,
Hal was big on that.
oh, he was, yeah. He, and then, was it last year or the year before we started that?
We really put the emphasis.
Somebody came up to me, yes, and said, what would, before I become president, what would Hal say?
Oh.
And, he's not here, but, yeah, and I said, I gave him 2 ideas, and that was one. So it was really special to our family to see that transition, because yes, Hal felt very strongly that, I mean, I remember when it was a $5 gift, and then I think what really did him in was the $20 iTunes card. And he just felt like we needed to keep our eye on giving.
It's a great thought, and I think it's very consistent with what we do as Rotarians as we focus on service above self and giving of our time and resources to others. You know, Rotary is kind of one of those points of civility in a world of chaos, I think.
And passing that on to teaching the children too at that point, I think is really, really important, finding that balance.
And a great learning lesson. Foundation, Mike.
Okay.
Is this Foundation Month by any chance?
It is. Just started today. We're really on track to meet all of our goals for the foundation, maintain Triple Crown, and I think for you new members, that means everybody is a sustaining member and that they give $100 minimum to the Rotary Foundation. We're all Paul Harris Fellows. We're 100% Paul Harris Fellow Club, and we're going to be all benefactors. So by the end of the Rotary year, we'll certainly retain that status. The next one is add 2 new Paul Harris Society members, and as of yesterday, I have 1, and it's our president, Chip Bell, so thank you, Chip. So now we have 14 in our club, which is about 20%, which is incredible percentage for to have that many Paul Harris Society members. That means a person is willing to give $1,000 to the Rotary Foundation, so I'm looking for 1 more good soul for this year. It's $83. You can have it drafted $83 a month, or do it any way you want to do it. Add 5 new Bequest Society members or major donors. We have blown through this. We're sitting at 12. And this are folks that will be participating on February 12th, 2019, when RI President Barry Rassin comes to Grand Over to speak, and we're going to be celebrating our $1 million drive, and we're now approaching $2.5 million. So we have, we've knocked it out of the park on that one. So I'm still looking for more Bequest Society members, and I know there's some, and potential major donors there. Foundation banquet, we've already talked about. We're almost double the number that we had set as our goal, so we're at 19. So from a foundation perspective, this club rocks. You do a great job, and thank you for everything you do and all the good that you do in the world.
Thank you, Mike. Mike, will you send out a reminder the day of with just a confirmation time and place reminder for those attending?
For?
Well, I guess it's on the tickets, foundation.
Okay, it's 6 o'clock at Court Convention Center next Thursday. And I'll send out a reminder.
Do you have those tickets?
There is no such thing. It's just a reservation. You don't get a ticket.
Honor system.
No ticket.
I want to point out Jeff Tillman. Jeff at the camera. You know, isn't the step and repeat banner pretty cool? A pretty cool thing. It's showing up. I'm not even going to talk about it. I want you to talk about it, Jeff, because that was, I think, your idea.
Well, the goal is to, and I didn't get here early enough, partly because Danny's early, but you know, I would like to, as we line up for breakfast, and I'll bring my camera every Thursday, and just sort of get a few people, 3 or 4 people each week, and we can have, you know, the goal is to get everybody's picture updated too, but also I'll email those out every week, and if you would like to put it up on your Facebook or your Instagram or any of your social media things, I think it's an easy way to kind of show people you're at Gate City Rotary and that we meet at the Henry Hotel. So that's kind of the reason I think it's pretty cool. I'm happy how they're turning out. So if you don't like your picture, I can't help you there.
But you can take a second.
Talk to your mother about it. Let's see, we're doing some Instagram. David Lillard's helping with that. And,
David, thank you, by the way.
Let's see, we're continuing to video the meetings, and Tom Richardson, a shout out to him because he figured all that out, and I don't know, I wouldn't have been able to do that. So if you like all that, Tom's was instrumental in making that easy to do. And we're working on a brochure. I think David Graves has got his hand in that, and David Lillard, but that's, we'll give you an update later on that.
Okay. Maybe you'll even bring a camera to Big Stock, did I understand?
Yeah, probably be a camera there.
Oh, how about that? Camera to youth services.
Good morning. So we're going to be doing the speech writing contest again. That's a district-wide thing, but we'll get hopefully some more participation at Paige. Gail just left. She's been so humble as to try to help as much as she can, being boots on the ground there and having a child there at school. We actually have a lot of interest in helping with bell ringing, and I know we have a lot of slots available, so that'll help fill up everything that we need to. I'm going to get with Matthew on that today. Get Cassandra Taylor, who's our, I guess, liaison there at the school, that information. And also choosing a service project. Right now, we think we're going to have them help build a handicap accessible ramp. Saying it, not build it. Might work out better. But nevertheless, I think that will help us fulfill our goal requirements.
Yes.
And they're just a lot more interactive this year. So I'm looking forward to that.
Justin?
Yeah.
I had someone recently ask me about the Rotary leadership.
So, yeah.
Can you speak to that?
Sure, yeah, it's usually, I think, in June or July, I can't remember, I think late June, but usually we sponsor 2 to 3 children, and it's basically a merit kind of base. We look over the scholarship applications and then just kind of pick, but is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
When do you want applications?
Usually we don't announce that until late spring. So it's
That'll be a springtime event. We had about 10 or 12 applications, I think, last year. I mean,
we had quite a bunch last year. But if they want to go ahead and start maybe getting like resume or CV together for them, get the information together.
I guarantee we will announce that well in advance.
Ryland's one of the only things we do that the club comes first as far as service.
Right.
So
Correct.
if your kids are interested in this, Gate City kids get first pick at our Ryland spots.
That's correct.
And, it saved my job. I was on the way to prison before Ryland, so.
Well, every kid that's been to it has ranted and raved about how great it was to go to it. And they all have come here and spoken, and each one is just, one, they were very well articulated children, but they also learned a lot out there. So if you've got kids that are in that teenage age,
It's a great opportunity.
Yeah, it turns around, but I'm gonna need this film before my wife hears it going.
Yeah, Mike.
Point of clarification.
Can't edit the film.
The only reason that his daughter was heading to prison was to visit her father.
And that's the rest of the story.
Guy, do you want to just, without letting the cat out of the bag?
So we we're working on it. We've got 8 or 9 people. We met 3 or 4 times. Yeah, you can see my statistics aren't as good as we've picked a location. We've picked a band. We're still working out some of the details. We're going to do a similar format, and we'll announce all of it in January.
We won't let the cat out of the bag.
Right.
But just to let you know, Guy is on it.
Yep.
It's a rap band. Past President's Committee. Jim?
Oh, I didn't know I was on the agenda.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I am. Okay, well, I understand. I heard through you, Chip, that
I got a voice.
Ralph Jones said that the 990 is imminent. PPC grant recipients we have at this point 13 grants requests received. The door is now closed to that, so hopefully the team will get together in the next week or so to look at those. And we are busily working on a president nominee for the 21-22 Rotary year.
Coming up fast, isn't it?
As soon as we can.
All right. Thank you, Jimmy. Just a real quick update on, we want to talk about the budget or invoices or anything?
Pay your bill.
I would just say Tom has done a fabulous job, but the way that QuickBooks works apparently is it will only generate a bill for the current quarter. That's all it will generate. So if you forgot something or there's a unpaid changing of the guard meal or something, that won't come back on your next invoice. So thank you for just putting the labor into the tally those up. If you think you have an unpaid bill or not sure, reach out to Tom. Okay, got your phones? Get your calendars out. If you want to take a picture, this is everything that's going on over the next 3 months. And I'll move out of the way and let's take a picture. A lot of things going. We've worked hard for the last 2 or 3 months on Rotary projects. We've gone at it pretty hard. The next month or two, it's going to be pretty fun, a lot easier, a lot lighter, and we'll take a little breather, catch our breath, and get ready for next year. So this is what we've got in line right now. Still a little bit of work to be done this weekend, and that's got some heavy lifting to do, but I think if we come together, we can make, many hands will make light work on that. I will finish up with just one other slide, and I wasn't sure we have time for this. I'll go back to this one if anyone wants to get it later. But has anybody recently been to the Rotary International website? I don't need a show of hands, I don't really want to know. But I was on there for a reason recently. Okay, I know Mike was before. But they point out what are big Rotary's points of emphasis, points of focus. And I mentioned fighting diseases, but some of the other ones, and I don't know if you can see these pictures. I try to do everything in like giant font for you, but this is the best I could do, this picture graph. But working on the first image is, one of the areas is fighting poor health, poor sanitation, and inadequate health care, but working to save families, mothers and children. A lot of this is in third world countries. Supporting education. Excuse me, let me back up a second. Who knows the population of North Carolina, the whole state, to the nearest million?
I know a few, but not all of them.
Yep, between 10 and 11 million. Here's a statistic. This just grabbed me. Nearly 6 million children under the age of 5 die each year. That would be over half the state of North Carolina, half the state dying every year because of poor nutrition and poor health care and inadequate sanitation. So that just drives the point why that's such a critical need at the big Rotary level. Supporting education, more than 700 million people over the age of 15 are illiterate, and that number just boggles the mind. So there are programs to increase basic education, basic reading. That's even here in the United States. You know, we've got people even in Guilford County that are still learning to read, and it is a wonderful thing. I know Jim Kennedy has volunteered for Reading Connections and programs like that before too. The ability to read brings a lot of power to an individual. And in growing local economies is another area. Outside, we have capitalism to the T here in the United States, but worldwide, in other countries where there's just the infrastructure and the organization around starting businesses and production and how to organize, there is an emphasis at the big Rotary level of helping to grow local economies. So I just wanted to put a plug in. We don't often have a chance to go to the Rotary website, but I pulled this off and thought that would be an interesting thing to share. There are 3 other slides on the, I did not get a screen grab on it, that are also some of their top priorities. But when you think about what does money from the foundation do, saving people's lives, health, reading, growing local economies, those are powerful initiatives. And so we're so grateful for that. That is all I have today. Does anyone have anything for the good of the club? Walt.
On 3, we're all going to say, where's the meeting next week? 1, 2, 3.
Where's the meeting?
Real quick, I do want to thank Tom Richardson and Jeff Holman for making it so darn easy for all of you to do makeups by watching video. And a lot of you really take part in that. So if you're confused by how to do that, please get with me or with Jeff. When you came in this morning, there was a directory out there, and sometimes it gets backed up. If you didn't get a chance to look at the directory and look at your personal data on here, get with me, and we just want to clean it up, make sure everything's correct, and if we don't have a picture of you, we want to go ahead and get that on. It is invaluable. I know that many of you are born and raised in this area, but I'm not, and I have really made use of the directory in reaching out to a number of you in the last couple of years, because you're experts in your field or in other areas of endeavor, and it's really great to be able to give you a call and query. So let's make sure this is up to date, and that's all. Thanks so much.
The last item, Bobby Sig, without turning around, just reach your hand in here and grab a ticket for me.
Big date, Bobby.
Yeah,
Let me get another one.
And you have to be present to witness.
All right, last 4, 3104.
And you want to know what you're praying for?
3104?
Read it one more time.
You want the whole number?
We have a winner.
The Dow Jones is up.
We are playing for $775. Come on up and Jeff, was that you?